This summer, the biggest names in luxury fashion, from Dior to Missoni to Gucci, are all doing something very similar. And that is that they're taking over some of the best beach clubs across Europe. From Ibiza to Capri to Saint-Tropez, these brand collaborations mean that their product positioning isn't just in stores, and the brands are showing up in the most desirable locations across Europe. Some of the best beach clubs across Ibiza and Bodrum in Turkey. And they're doing this, one, for the Instagram content, but also two, there's a whole brand storytelling piece that they can play into the customer's psyche. These brands aren't just decorating beach clubs, they're positioning themselves in the places that their customers want to be seen. So let's go through some of these beach clubs and the brands that they're working with. So Gucci's takeover in Monaco is of their flora print that is iconic. But not many people know this. In 1966, that print was designed for the Princess Grace of Monaco. It's become an iconic print and one that is well known when it comes to Gucci. And 66 years later, this becomes very iconic. The brands have gone back to a nostalgia of the history of the print and married that back to Monaco, the birthplace of this print. So Gucci didn't just choose Monaco because it's a glamorous place to be. There's a lot of history and a lot of thought that have gone into this. The brand can really tell that story and the customer can really relate to the print and seeing that print in person. And the second one is Jacquemus at the Mandarin Oriental in Bodrum. So they have taken over the beach club, but not only have they got their branding everywhere, they have thought about the activities. It's paddleboarding, or you can play backgammon, which has got Jacquemus branding on it. They've really thought about the customer and the activities that they'll be doing to where the touch points need to be. So Burberry have taken over the Hotel Belle Rive in the south of France. They have got their iconic print, but in the colours of the hotel, so the blue palette colours of the hotel. And they've also made this real Burberry feel, but with the hotel's aesthetics blended in. So the Burberry print is not just in the beach club, it's throughout the hotel, and they've got logos throughout the hotel as well. The print and the iconic Burberry check is throughout and in the lift. So they're really taking the collaboration, not just from the beach club, where it's very Instagram worthy, but they're going through the whole hotel so that the customer really understands the partnership. Similar to Jacquemus, they've really thought about their customer and also the clientele that they're, and they've thought about the activities that they're doing. So they have water skiing that is Burberry sponsored. They also have Burberry ice lollies. So there's every sort of touch point that you can think of on vacation that somebody wants to get involved with. Burberry has thought about it, and they've got their branding there, front and center. So Dior have taken over the Cliffside Hotel in Capri, and they've got their beautiful blue palette colors going through the sun lounges. They've also got these cute wooden boats bobbing along, and they've got their towels in the beach huts. So everything around the very cute European summer has been thought through from a Dior perspective. And then there's also Missoni. They've gone back to Oku in Ibiza and taken over the sun lounges and put the iconic zigzag print across the sun lounges, which is so striking against the wooden backdrop of the Oku hotel. So from the fringe parasols to the zigzag printed sun lounges and matching towels, this becomes an iconic Missoni print overtake and very Instagram worthy. So each one of these brand activations has been really thought through, from not just where the customer is going on vacation or where the brand wants to be seen, but also the touch points of where the brand's positioning can really play into the customer's experience. So from Jacquemus with their backgammon sets and paddleboarding to Burberry and their water skiing, it's every single touch point of a vacation that the customer is on that the brand can get in front of them. So why are these brand collaborations with beach clubs happening every summer, and why are more and more brands trying to get in on the action? So the first reason that customers want to be part of something. So whether that is vacationing in that certain hotel or going to that beach club and being seen associated with the brand, customers want to experience something and not just just own something, a physical product from a brand. So these activations between beach clubs and hotels are perfect for that. Customers want to be seen going to the latest hotel or beach club that the brand is positioning themselves with. And they want to be part of a community and be seen across social media or other touch points as being part of that brand and really buying into that community side of things. The second reason is cultural relevance. So people want to be seen and taken Instagram-worthy content at places that are culturally relevant for them. And these beach clubs across a European summer are exactly that. From the south of France and Italy to Ibiza. These are the places that are always showing up in the best hotels, the best restaurants. So if brands can get in on that and the clients and customers are happy to be seen there, then it's a win-win situation for both parties. And the location is a real big part of this. So the brands haven't asked their customers to come to certain locations. They've actually gone to where their customers already are and elevated that experience. They've chosen, for example, Gucci. They've chosen the history and there's meaning behind that, and that's why they've gone there. And some of the best experimental marketing is when the brands become part of the customer's life, not interrupting it. So let's bring this back to your luxury brands. If you're a luxury brand but don't have the budgets of the big fashion houses, then how can you use this information and these tactics to relate back to your customer? And this is simply understanding where your customer is and going to them. So the principle behind all of these activations is going to where the customer is and really understanding their lifestyle. So let's take this into another example, which isn't one of the big fashion houses, and that is another brand called Fairfax and Favour. So they really understood and built the brand knowing their customer, and they didn't do it with couture or with runway shows. They went to where their customer was, and that was country fairs, Babington, racing. Fairfax and Favour really understood where their customer was, and they went to them and created activations at different horse trials. So whether that was at the Highland Fair or Babington horse trials, Fairfax and Favour knew where their customer was going to be, and that's exactly where they showed up. This is similar to the activations at these beautiful beach clubs. So Fairfax and Favour didn't need to go to a luxury hotel or a beach club. They knew where their customer was and they leaned into that. So as a luxury brand, this is exactly what you need to do. Understand where your customer is, where they're showing up and where they're going on vacation or going in their spare time, and seeing if you can do partnerships and activations that lean into that. On a smaller scale, you can also do smaller events such as private dinners, and these work really well for luxury brands. So inviting some of your top clients to a private dinner where you're covering the costs and they're inviting their guest list. So these brand activations all have something in common, and that is really understanding the customer. And that is something, as my background coming from Net-a-Porter and Matches Fashion, is really understanding the customer is key to any of the marketing. So before you start thinking about where you want to do your next activations, do you understand where your customer is going? If not, then start asking them, start doing customer surveys with them. This is something we do a lot with our clients. And understanding your customer is the most critical thing when building out the marketing calendar as well. So having the social calendar of your clients is hugely impactful when creating content, but not just on a big scale of activations, all the way down to every single marketing message and touch point.